Once upon a time there was a fox and a tortoise who decided to spend a beautiful, peaceful day fishing together. They sat by the tranquil waters, casting their lines and enjoying each other's company as they conversed about their weekend plans. As the hours passed, it was finally time for the fox and the tortoise to leave. They were overjoyed to discover that their fishing expedition had been successful, as they had gathered a bountiful amount of fish piled up at their feet. All that was left to do now was to cook and enjoy their tasty catch. However, the fox found himself in quite a predicament. Having not eaten anything before they started fishing, he was overcome by hunger. As he gazed at the pile of fish, his stomach growled, and he couldn't resist glancing at the tortoise, who was busy counting the fish. The fox knew that his friend, the tortoise, was not the sharpest tool in the shed. Feeling clever, the fox hatched a plan. He noticed the bright, amber sun beginning to set on the horizon and realized this could work in his favor. With a sly smile on his face, he turned to the tortoise and lied, "My dear friend, tortoise, I'm afraid I have forgotten my tools today and cannot make fire." The tortoise looked disappointed, but the fox swiftly continued, "Oh, but do you see that bright flame over there?" Pointing to the sun, the tortoise nodded his head in agreement. "Go and get fire from there," the fox instructed, "and I will wait here. When you return, we shall cook the fish and feast as always." The tortoise, trusting in the fox's words, agreed to go retrieve the fire, and the fox gleefully watched his friend depart. As soon as the tortoise was out of sight, the fox wasted no time. He quickly set about making a fire and started cooking the fish, all the while singing to himself. Oh, how stupid the tortoise is. Little did the fox know, the tortoise was far smarter than he appeared to be. Instead of following the fox's deceitful suggestion to get fire, the tortoise had turned around and began digging a hole, crawling back to where his friend was cooking. The tortoise discovered the fox secretly cooking and storing the fish behind him. Listening to the fox's thoughts aloud, the tortoise became outraged. Each time the fox cooked and stored a fish, the tortoise would silently devour it. This continued until only one fish remained. After filling up on the stolen fish, the tortoise slowly crawled back to his original spot, and then calmly walked back to the fox, who now wore an ashen face and looked troubled. Trying not to burst into laughter, the tortoise explained, "I'm sorry, but I could not find fire anywhere." The fox, with a shaky voice, pulled out the last remaining fish and confessed, "It's okay, I was able to make fire. But sadly, I've been robbed." Suppressing his laughter, the tortoise reassured the fox that everything would be fine. After all, they still had one fish left, and that was better than nothing. And so they shared the last remaining fish and began their journey back home, reflecting on their eventful fishing trip and the lessons they had learned about honesty and friendship.